Have you ever wondered what it takes to be a great leader? Today, we're going to be talking about the pillars of leadership, organization, empathy, and transparency. Whether you're starting a business, dance career, I think a lot of these lessons are crucial. So, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the podcast. This is the Move Groove Grow podcast. I'm sharing with you guys behind the scenes updates and insights of what it's like to run a marketing agency, also a dance company, and also grow your own personal brand, which is me, like pursuing my own dance journey in terms of being a professional dancer. So wearing multiple hats, am I tired? Yes. But do I love it? Yes. So if you don't know who I am, I'm just assuming that no one has ever been on this channel. Whether it's if you're watching this on YouTube or even on Spotify, I've been dancing for over 25 years, and I run a marketing agency called Vision Paradox, and my dance company is called Temper Tantrum. Again, the purpose of this is to really just give you guys updates of what's happening behind the scenes, and I just think it'd be pretty cool looking back on it, when I put this together for the vlog as well. So this past weekend was 4th of July. So the team had it off. A lot of the members from my dance company, the team meaning my dance company, Temper Tantrum, I had it off because a lot of people were either performing at Anime Expo this weekend, or they had family, or they're hanging out with friends, or they're just chilling. Myself, Lauren, the assistant artistic director, and Max, we took advantage of the rehearsal space. I've been wanting to film new dance tutorials for a while for this channel, for my YouTube channel, and for Temper Tantrum, and schedules were a little tough, so we decided to take advantage of it. And I guess the lesson from that is, the first lesson just from that is making the most of the available resources that you have. I could have canceled that and just had the day off, but to me, and there would have been nothing wrong with that. But there is this big picture of things that I want my dance company to do, and I know the work that is required for it, and it was available. We had zero rehearsal that day, and I wanted to do something that I knew would ultimately help the company. And I don't expect anyone from the dance company or even my marketing agency to work the way I do. Prior to all that, I think the next lesson is the power of just relationships through empathy, through spending time one-on-one. That reminder really came through when I was just hanging out with my son last weekend. And I know hanging out with your kids is different, because there's a certain affinity to it, and then a certain bond and relationship. But through that, I kind of realized the importance of just the one-on-one relationships, not just with your spouse or with your friends, but it's also with the people you work with as well, to make it a point, even if it's just a text, a 5-minute call, or lunch, if that happens to work with your schedule. Because I know we're all busy, we all have things to do, but we can't, taking it from that lesson of that meaningful moments with my son, to how can I apply this everywhere else in terms of building meaningful relationships. I think even the smallest things go a long way. Just acknowledging people and just doing things to nurture the relationships that matter to you, whether it's business or personal. Okay, this last one, I'd say this last lesson is advocating for the collective good, standing up for your own value, so to speak. How do I even begin this? Okay, so recently Max, Lauren, and I walked out of a production we were involved in, and if you're on YouTube, there are notes here that I'm looking at, so to help me remember all this. But we walked out of a production because I emailed them about concerns based off the first rehearsal we had. It was a very long list. Obviously, pay being part of it, but not just for me, but for everyone else. Based off a previous conversation, I had presumed that we were going to get paid a certain amount a day, and this includes everyone. But that wasn't the case. It turned out the rehearsal was pro bono, which is a no-go. Me and another choreographer, we got paid that day because we got bumped up from dancer to choreographer, and we essentially ran the rehearsal for the whole time. But the thing that made me feel icky is that everyone took time out of their day for this, and what I'm assuming everyone had the same information, that they would get paid for this rehearsal. They did not, and that was one of the things, to reimburse people who showed up to the rehearsal and didn't get paid. Safety concerns, because one of the things was doing a lot of random shoots throughout the desert on the way to Vegas. So there's just a whole bunch of things that we were concerned about, not just financially, but the safety of the dancers and the logistics. And this was honestly one of the most concerning productions I've been. And and I don't really, I can count less than these fingers on this one hand the amount of the productions I've been on that has concerned me this much. So what I did, as because there was a point that me and the other choreographers saw that we were on the same page of like what's going on. We were kind of questioning things, and then we talked to some of the other actors that were part of there who were booked for one thing and are doing another thing. So this was very big red flag for us. I took the initiative to listen to a lot of the people whose contact I had to listen to their concerns, from all the way from pay to scope of work to using the likeness to safety, logistics, a whole bunch of stuff that came up. And I sent an email like saying like, this is cool. Like we're super, I would say professional. Shit, I don't even know if I should put up the fucking email up on, but yeah, I think I sent what I would consider is a professional email about like, here's being grateful for the opportunity, grateful that we got paid for that day, but also here's the concerns. Because one of the things that also concerned me was that we just kind of went into it. There was no like, here's the vision of everything. Here's what's been done so far. Here's how the role you play. I had zero idea of the importance or lack of importance or whatever of where we were in the production. And that really was like concerning. And because had he come in with, here's the game plan, and I guess it's just me and my personality, but I've been on a whole bunch of other productions where the logistics and everything and vision and whatnot have been fairly laid out. Like at least like, here's what you're going to be doing in the scene. Here's what you're going to be doing, da 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 da, all that stuff. But had they led with that, because it was more than one person, it was like here's the vision of what we're creating. Here's what we've done so far. Here's the role and your importance, or like the impact of this thing to the overall project. I probably might have considered staying, because then there's a vision that I have an idea of that I would like to contribute to or not, and none of that was there. A lot of it, this person was kind of ambiguous. It felt like, and they kind of just kept dropping stuff on top of us. Like, try not to. Fuck it. I'm not under contract either, and I'm just trying to use this story to illustrate the importance of essentially one, standing up for yourself, the fairness for others, transparency, organization, being clear on your vision. This whole one thing is just enough. Like, is a lesson in itself in terms of like leadership. Yeah. So I'm not gonna go into more of it. I feel like that can be a podcast in itself. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube or on Spotify and you want me to really, 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 really go a deep dive into what happened, comment down below. I'll probably have Lauren and Max be a part of it as well, because they were part of it and they had their concerns. And woo, damn, yeah, that's it's like that. Okay, so essentially those are like kind of the lessons from that. Along with that is, for me, I had zero problem on going against the grain, because I knew it was going to be the right thing for myself and for others. And I guess the main thing is like collective action. So not just you, because it's like I could have just been in my feelings. I'm like, oh no, is something wrong here? But then I started talking to other people. It's like, oh, it's not just me, it's the collective. But not everyone is certain if they want to say something. So collective action and taking charge when you don't want to take charge is powerful, for lack of a better saying. And I think it's important as artists, business people, or human beings to support the people you're working with, that's around you, especially when it comes to working on a common goal. To be disjointed, to have zero idea everyone's roles, I think is just setting up everyone for disaster. That's it for this Move, Groove, Grow podcast behind the scenes update. Hope you guys are doing well. Do all the things. I'll see you guys in the next update.